Hello, BBN. Kentucky continues to set official visit dates with its top targets for 2026. And Maximo Adams is the latest to schedule a visit to Kentucky. Would he be a good addition for the Cats? Let's analyze. The news of Maximo Adams' official visit to Kentucky is an interesting development. For Mark Pope, a coach still looking to cement his brand at the helm of the Wildcats, the opportunity to bring a player like Adams to Lexington is a unique opportunity to demonstrate that Kentucky remains an irresistible destination for the country's most sought-after talent. Maximo Adams is one of those players who seems to have been molded to perfectly fit the mold of modern basketball. Versatile, athletic, and with refined skills both inside and outside the three-point line, he represents exactly the type of athlete who can thrive under Pope's guidance. His ranking as the 37th best overall prospect in the country, according to the Rivals industry ranking, is just one indication of his potential. However, what truly stands out is his ability to adapt to the demands of the modern game, combining physical strength, agility, and tactical intelligence, qualities that make him a player capable of immediately impacting any team fortunate enough to have his services. The fact that Adams chose Kentucky as one of his priority stops in his marathon of official visits speaks volumes about the program's prestige. With dates also scheduled for Michigan State, Kansas, Texas, North Carolina, and Duke, it's clear he's surrounded by top-tier options. However, Kentucky has something special to offer. The combination of an unparalleled college basketball tradition and a coach who, despite being in his early days in Lexington, has already demonstrated a significant personal connection with the young player. This connection, in fact, has family roots, as Marcus Adams, Maximo's older brother, had the opportunity to work with Pope during his time at BYU. This pre-existing bond between the coach and the Adams family could prove to be a crucial differentiator for them. Mark Pope has faced challenges since taking over at Kentucky, but the arrival of a player like Maximo Adams could be welcomed, not only because of the power forward's individual talent, but also because of the symbolism his selection would represent. By opting for Kentucky, Adams would be sending a clear message that the program is still capable of attracting great players. Furthermore, Adams's playing style seems tailor-made for the system Pope is trying to implement in Lexington. With his ability to operate as both a dominant presence in the paint and a peripheral threat, he offers the team a tactical flexibility few players can provide. In a sport where versatility is increasingly valued, Adams would be a key player in helping Kentucky regain its leading role in the competitive NCAA landscape. His performance at the Peach Jam, where he shone against fierce competition, is a clear example of how he can excel when it matters most. On the other hand, it's worth noting that Adams' interest in Kentucky isn't one-sided. The player himself has expressed his admiration for the program, highlighting the quality of the coach and the structure offered. It means a lot to receive an offer from Kentucky, he told KSR+, adding that Pope is a great coach leading a great program. This statement reflects not only the respect Kentucky still commands, but also the way Pope has worked to build bridges with the most promising prospects. He knows that attracting players like Adams isn't enough. It's necessary to genuinely demonstrate that the program is committed to helping them achieve their goals. If Maximo Adams decides to move forward with Kentucky, it could represent a huge victory for the Cats. It's a strategic silence, not of despair, but of concentration. The program, once on a high, with consecutive bowl seasons between 2018 and 2022, faced a steep decline last year, culminating in a disappointing 4-8 finish. Expectations were high, the prognosis optimistic, but the execution left much to be desired. With Mark Stoops and voices like Anwar Stewart reaffirming confidence in the project, There's a collective sense of resurgence taking shape within the locker room. Stewart, a former Wildcats defensive standout and current defensive line coach, has been one of the most proactive figures in this rebuilding process. He knows well the weight he carries. Not only the external pressure, but also the internal need to restore the winning identity Kentucky has built over the past few years. We're ready to play. The guys are hungry, he said in an interview with WLAP. And that hunger isn't empty. It translates into hours of hard work, tactical adjustments, and a mindset that seems to have cast skepticism aside. Head coach Mark Stoops has been following this change with satisfaction. Since the start of fall camp, he has noticed consistent improvements. These aren't empty promises or generic words of encouragement. Stoops has seen tangible progress. There's a definite improvement, and we all know that's what we need to do, he said after a particularly productive week of practice. This tone of determination could make all the difference. One of the main differences from the previous season is the group's health. In 2024, untimely injuries compromised the team's depth, especially on defense. Players like Jose Hayes and Tavian Gatson were out before the season even started, and their absence was felt significantly. Now, Stewart celebrates having a rotation of 8 healthy and confident players capable of maintaining a competitive level without major dips in performance. This depth is essential to face the physical demands of the SEC, a conference known for its brutality and intensity. But the change goes beyond health. This year, the defensive line is being reshaped with speed and explosiveness in mind. While it lacks the physical imposingness of previous lines, the group is being honed to cause quick and efficient disruption. Names like David Gusta and Mequis Humphrey Grace have been attracting attention in training. Gusta, a physical player who can anchor the interior of the line, and Humphrey Grace, an impressive talent on the wing, are clear examples of this new philosophy. Jaden Williams also emerges as a key player to add depth, as Coach Brad White works to place these players in situations that maximize their abilities. This approach reflects a broader shift within the Kentucky team. Internal competition has been fierce since January, when the players began working together in search of collective redemption. Eric Wolford, head of the offensive line, has received praise from Stewart for his development of the young talent. The synergy between the units is growing, and the camaraderie in the locker room seems genuine. This is crucial, especially in a sport where group chemistry can be as important as individual talent. But perhaps the most positive aspect of this new phase is the external isolation mentality that permeates the program. While fans and analysts may be skeptical, the players and coaches are determined to ignore the noise. For Stewart, it's not about convincing anyone on the outside. It's about honoring the work done within the 4 walls of the building. We're not worried about what the media or the fans think. It's all about us in that building, man, and all the hard work these young men have put in, he declared. This attitude isn't arrogant, but rather a demonstration of maturity and focus. With the calendar pointing to the opening game against Toledo on August 30th, the time to translate this effort into results is approaching. Fans may be cautious, and understandably so. However, there's something promising in the air in Lexington. Let's wait and see. There's a significant boost with the arrival of Landon Watson. The recent addition of the transfer linebacker, who brings with him starting experience at Marshall and a promising track record, is one of the major developments that excites fans and reinforces confidence in the creative work of Stoops and his defensive coordinator, Brad White. Watson's journey to Kentucky is a story of adaptation and growth. After starting his career at TCU as a defensive end, he transitioned to off-ball linebacker at Marshall, where he emerged as a full-time starter for the 2024 Sun Belt champions. With 69 tackles and 4 tackles for loss last season, Watson demonstrated not only physical strength, but also a remarkable ability to impact the game in multiple facets. His versatility, one of White's most celebrated attributes, allows him to line up both at linebacker and in quarterback pressure situations, bringing a dynamic that could elevate the Wildcats' defense to new heights. He's big and strong, but also light on his feet. He can make opponents miss in the pass rush, White praised, highlighting Watson's ability to face high-level opponents like Ohio State and still excel with decisive plays. Watson's impact is already being felt in fall practice, where he is quickly acclimated to Kentucky's defensive scheme. Despite a spring limited by an unspecified injury suffered late last season, the redshirt linebacker demonstrated resilience and tactical intelligence, impressing teammates and the coaching staff. Alex Afari Jr., his teammate, was full of praise. He's improved the defense very quickly. He's making a lot of plays in training camp. He'll be a very good asset for us. This quick adaptation reflects Watson's mindset, which values the opportunity to contribute in multiple roles. I bring a lot of versatility. I played defensive end in high school and at TCU. Transitioning to linebacker allowed me to add more to my game. Stop the run, cover, do whatever the coach asks, Watson told KSR, highlighting his willingness to be a wild card on defense. Watson's arrival is particularly significant as Kentucky seeks to bolster its depth at linebacker after losing key snaps in production for the 2025 season. Rather than seeking drastic external solutions, Stoops and his staff opted for a balanced approach, blending continuity with strategic additions via the transfer portal. Watson, with his experience in a competitive conference like the Sun Belt and his ability to play both run support and quarterback pressure, fills crucial gaps. His numbers at Marshall, including 8 pressures and 43 pass rushing snaps, according to PFF, suggest he could be an asset in blitz situations, complementing a defensive line that has gained athleticism and quickness in this signing cycle. Although Watson isn't currently projected as a starter, his role in the defensive rotation is virtually certain, especially considering his combination of size, mobility, and instincts. Brad White, known for getting the best out of his players, seems particularly excited about the linebacker's potential. He's very smart, aware, and cares. He's getting more comfortable and confident every day, said the coordinator, suggesting that Watson is just beginning to show what he's capable of. However, there are areas for improvement. His missed tackle rate, 17.7%, and durability, considering he only assumed a prominent role in his 4th year of college football, are areas of focus for 2025. Still, optimism is high, and Watson's projection as a linebacker in Kentucky's Mike's scheme indicates that he could be a pillar in the middle of the field. The always fervent fan base has reason to be excited about the prospect of seeing a player with Watson's profile, big, fast, and versatile, wearing the blue and white. I want to hear your thoughts.